The Tecno Spark 20 Pro Plus is the first Tecno phone in the world to be outfitted with Gorilla Glass 5. According to statistics, its protection should be about 40% less than the Gorilla Glass armor that you find on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, which is still strong enough. At this phone's starting price of $250, you are getting not only Gorilla Glass 5, there's also an under-display fingerprint scanner, a 108MP camera, dual stereo speakers, as well as IP53 splash-proof rating. So I'm going to tell you the things I like about this phone, the things I don't like, and whether it's actually worth your money. First thing I generally like is the design. This is probably the most premium looking Tecno phone I've ever looked at. At one glance, it kind of seems like they perfected everything right, although they haven't. For one, the form factor isn't high-end like you expect from a phone which costs about 300,000 Nigerian naira. It's glass on the front while the rear and frame are made of plastic. And I'm not too happy about it, considering the fact that plastic is a B-grade material, which does feel cheap. But that limitation didn't stop it from looking good. This phone is very sturdy and you feel it while holding it. The camera model, though isn't the prettiest, does look defined and purposeful, and the bump isn't much of a protrusion as I expected. We're talking about one of the slimmest hole punch cutouts to be found on a budget phone, and I am really impressed at the bezels. It's almost bezel-less, though you can see it at the bottom and a little bit at the top, which holds the front-facing flashlights. Slight difference compared to a top-of-the-line flagship. At 6.8 inches, it has an 89% screen-to-body ratio, which is a huge amount at this price. It is IP53 certified, so it could handle accidental splashes and the like, but don't feel tempted to submerge it in water like this stupid guy did. And as an icing on the cake, it's one of the slimmest phones ever made, measuring a depth of around 7.5mm. How on earth did Tecno manage to fit the huge battery and camera inside that slim plasticky form factor without any signs of flexing?
Because we can!
Ergonomically, there are dual stereo speakers, one firing at the top and one firing at the bottom, and the sound is pretty neat. You gamers will love this as it immerses you into whatever you are doing. And also, consuming content is amazing because of this insane audio experience. Display is a 6.78-inch 120Hz 1080p AMOLED panel with a peak brightness of 1000 nits. For the price, this is a really impressive screen. An AMOLED panel would mean extreme contrast, and 120Hz refresh rate basically means extreme touch responsiveness and smooth scrolling during browsing or whatever you be doing on the phone. Display gets up to 1000 nits of brightness, which is slightly usable under direct sunlight. Comparing this display to that of the Spark 20 Pro in outdoor lighting conditions, you can see it's a huge difference. I am very impressed that just the display's package is so good, and I've not even talked about the trump card, or should I say the best thing about this screen. Did you know that this is the first Tecno budget phone to be given proper protection? Gorilla Glass 5 has been released for some years now, but it had enough protection to protect flagship phones which were more expensive and had better build quality. And by using it on this phone means you can rest assured that a slight drop and everything would be fine. No, I'm just kidding. This display is so strong that if you drop this phone onto the bare floor, then you should be worried that the plastic rear and frame will get damaged instantly. Point is, I don't think you ever get a better display for $250. Before I carry on, I just want to let you know that if you give this video a like and subscribe, it will really benefit the channel a lot. Right now I'm sourcing clips from my fellow creators, their links are in the description, and I personally want to review my own products. So subscribe to get us to 1,500 subscribers at least. We're so very close. Another area which I love is the software. This phone runs iOS version 13.6 slapped on Android 13 and is just as expected. You get normal ideal settings, a bunch of features like social turbo and high theme which you can use to download more themes. The notification layout is simple. A swipe down on the right side reveals the quick toggles and a swipe on the left side reveals your notifications. The bloatware is minimal because you mostly get transition holding apps like Xender, Xshare or PhoneMaster, and you can uninstall a few if you want. There is the dynamic bar feature which heavily mimics Apple's dynamic island, and a Google Assistant shortcut which can be activated by gestures. You could run your first couple of hours fiddling with this phone because there's so much to do without it feeling like a burden to have to change anything. Do you like it as this or do you like to change it? The choice is yours. But I'm mostly impressed at the software support. Tecno are promising 2 years of software support all the way to Android 16. Hallelujah! That means that you can use this phone for 2 years down the line without issues, and if you are planning to hand it down or sell it, it will retain some value as it's still relevant. It may be shy of 4 years, which the Samsung A15 and A25 can get to, but for a company as budget focused as Tecno, I guess we are moving in the right direction. But as you probably expected, there are problems. I'm not surprised because at this price you can't expect it to be flawless. So these are the things I don't like about the Tecno Spark 20 Pro Plus. First is the performance, and it's strange. This phone is powered by the next level MediaTek Helio G99 Ultimate, backed by up to 256GB of storage and up to 16GB of RAM, which is 8GB of RAM boosted by another 8GB, repurposed from the phone's internal storage via memory fusion. So why don't I like it? I can tell you that this is no doubt an outstanding average performer. This phone could run titles like Call of Duty Mobile, Free Fire or PUBG Mobile at medium settings and graphics. Multitasking is buttery smooth for the price, though you tend to see stutters, which is inevitable for a chip like this. But I don't know how Tecno is being dishonest with us. They are claiming that the Helio G99 Ultimate is a better chip than the regular Helio G99, whilst in actuality it's not. It's basically the same chip, but an overclocked variant, which helps in maximizing performance. Pulling up Antutu, as you see, the results are very similar. On Geekbench, surprisingly, the Helio G99 has higher single-core and multi-core scores than the G99 Ultimate. And on 3D Mark, the regular G99 is more stable than the G99 Ultimate, which is a result of the stress contributed by the continuous overclocking ability of the G99 Ultimate. And that should technically lead to an increase in temperature and battery loss. The Spark 20 Pro Plus still performs like a beast, but you should bear in mind that it's not better than the Helio G99 like it's rumored to be. Another is the camera experience. Yes, this is a 108MP shooter. It shoots 2K video and has electronic image stabilization. And the photos are pretty good, especially in that 108MP mode. You get incredible detail, pretty good dynamic range and background blur, and the macro shots are plausible, but if it has enough lighting. In low light, I'm not sure you'll be anywhere near as impressed as the photos because they lose a lot of quality and get grainy. The video is rumored to be the next level of project videography, as it's notably clearer and sharper than the regular 1080p. But it also has a lot of problems, especially with a huge hit to focusing. You can see that the phone is having a hard time processing what's going on. There's electronic image stabilization which helps to keep things stable, but you can only use it in 1080p, so even if your video is steady, it's not as detailed. The selfie camera is a 13MP sensor which shoots decent photos in good lighting too. The video is 1080p and definitely not the best, but it's a norm at this price. Before I tell you whether the Tecno Spark 20 Pro Plus is worth buying, couple of mentions. This phone has a 5000 mAh battery which is capable of lasting throughout the entire day, although that coherently depends on your actual usage. If you are a heavy gamer, prowling hours and hours on Call of Duty Mobile, you might finish the day with the battery about to go or already dead. But if you are an extremely light user, this is an easy 2-day phone for you. And there's powerful 30W fast charging which fills this battery from flat in about an hour and 30 minutes. So, should you upgrade your current smartphone to this phone? I can confidently tell you this: when I first saw what this phone could do and the fact that it was a Tecno phone, I was taken off guard. A lot of things were confusing, like how misleading the Helio G99 Ultimate chip is, but looking aside all of that, this is a 9 out of 10 score in my book. I just appreciate the near bezel-less display, the crisp of the speakers, and even the 2 years of Android updates. It might be on the higher end at 343,000 naira, but I can say it's worth every penny. Please like the video if you found this video useful to you and smash that subscribe button as well.